There's a lot going on in the world right now. With no ghost hunts happening right now, no ghost talks happening right now. We decided to bring you live interviews and stuff right here on our Facebook page. I'm joined with James, as always. Who is? Say hi, James.
Hello, everyone.
I was going to say hi, James, then, because I know what he's like. And we've got a very special guest with us, and it's been a while. We've got Paranormal investigator Marq English. Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Yes, you can hear us. He's got to use two computers to see us. Thank you for joining us this evening. Now, Mark, we're going to go back a long time here. You've got us. Great. We're going to go a long way here, because when did we first meet you? It must have been like, I don't know, what, 15 years ago?
I think it was probably about 2007 when I might have done a charity gig with Nori down in Portsmouth. 2007, 2008 it is.
A long time ago. And me and James were still in Portsmouth, just about. I think we are. I don't know where I am nowadays with lockdown and everything. We lost all count of days, weeks, months, and years. James, how has lockdown been for you the last couple of days?
It's been interesting. I've still got to go to my day job, but you know, it's very different. You know, we can't do any ghost hunts, no ghost tours, no nothing. It's just stay at home.
I've got to say, I'm definitely missing the ghost hunt. Definitely missing it. I'm sure you guys are both the same.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
He sounds sure, didn't he? He's like, maybe. So, yes, we're joined with Mark this evening, who has done this for a few years, like myself and James. And as I said, we met in 2007, which is now that's like 13 years ago.
Yes.
I don't know where that time. I don't know where that time has gone, but it's gone somewhere. But Mark, how did you get interested in the paranormal?
I think like a lot of people, I never had any experience or anything like that. I think with me, it was probably being a Doctor Who fan. But in the 80s, when it really, in the 80s when it really took a grip, was probably when watching Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious World. There was a lovely old magazine out called Unexplained Magazine, which really delved in seriously into the subject. So yeah, it was sort of on the back of that. And then in the late 90s, I got really into sort of crop circle research with my friend Rob. But I've always been interested in sort of spirits and ghosts and that kind of thing, and wondering what's going on with our consciousness. Is it connected to our brains? Is it a material thing or something higher? So yeah, it all sort of stemmed from that sort of period. I would say probably from the 80s onwards, really.
I've got to ask you about the crop circles, because this one of the areas I haven't really studied that much, to be quite honest. But there's so many theories behind that, isn't there? There's so many theories.
Well, they're all man-made, they're or human-made. I don't think that, but the story doesn't end there. I've got people who are much more experts on it. I haven't studied it for years, so I'm not probably up to date with all the latest research. But from what I gather from people who do it, they're all made by humans. But the story doesn't end there, which makes it quite intriguing. It's people's experiences once they've made the circles within the circles. So yeah, it's still an open-ended story.
You've got to be pretty creative to be able to make those.
Quite a few years, so.
Yeah, yes. So you said we met back in Portsmouth. Since then, we've done, good God, how many places? We got a video on I think it's on our YouTube page from the Submarine Museum back in the day. Do you remember that?
Oh, absolutely, yes. I'm trying to make the audio.
We're going to crash with each other, aren't we? I remember you filming at the Submarine Museum, and I remember at one point somebody pressed that. Do you remember that horn? My God, I think I jumped hard enough to hit my head on the top of the submarine. Probably it was that scary. But I mean, that was an intriguing place. It was a long time ago. James, you were there as well. And we are really going back a few years here, back to, like you said, 2007, 2008.
Well, that's really interesting.
Now, aren't you?
I'm re-editing a lot of my old material and upscaling it to 1080p better quality, and that's one of my next videos. It's the Submarine Museum video we did from there.
There you go. Look at that. It's like psychic all over again. But it was an intriguing place because you think actually a submarine is part of a museum in Gosport. While the submarine being haunted, I remember that night we did. I don't remember. James, you'll remember more than I do probably. We sat around. Do you remember that really small? Like I think it was like a dining quarters or something. I can't remember. It was obviously it's very small there anyway, wherever you sit. I remember sitting there and weird things started to happen. And I can't remember who it was, but someone started getting really panicky at the time.
I do remember, yes.
I'm really do you remember? It was pretty good. I can't remember what caused it, but I just remember. James, do you remember? Because it was, we're going back quite a few years here.
Yes, I do briefly remember the Submarine Museum. Oh, God, yes, it is quite a few years ago now. The moment in question, it was like the little cabin, and from what I can remember, wasn't there like a black curtain beside of us? Because there
Yeah,
was
something like that.
um,
It was just so weird. We've got a few comments on the side here. So we just say hello to Philip and Leslie who are with us this evening. James is again with us this evening. Thanks for joining us. Ted, you know we love Ted. Now we know Ted very well from the Tower in Rye. Mark, you've been there. He tells us
Where?
to Rye Castle.
Yes, we did. Wipers Tower. Yes, we did it in 2010, I think it was. Amazing place, absolutely amazing place.
Oh, it is absolutely amazing. We've been there many times with the lovely Ted, and it's every time we go there, just something weird happens that you just can't explain.
Oh,
Who else we got on here? Let me just press.
yeah. Amazing guy, amazing guy.
It is. Well, the scene we're talking about your paranormal experiences. So anybody who's had anything, whatever they think the best ghost hunting equipment is, if there is any, what your best experiences have been, whatever it is, get in touch with us. Rachel's live with us, Laura's live with us, Amanda, Tori, Ted, James, popular name, Tom, all with us this evening. So going back to what you said there, Mark, you got interested after watching Doctor Who. Don't even start me about the current series. After watching Doctor Who.
I don't. Yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
That's a hell of a debate, isn't it? What's kept you interested? What's the one thing that's made you think, do you know what, there is something here that we just can't explain?
We've got to look beyond just what is a 3D material world. I think we're in a post-materialistic universe now. So you need to look at sort of what is energy, what is energy, what is power, what is going on away from this three-dimensional, all this. You know, I do think we have higher consciousness. I think we're part of a unified field, and it's tapping into that. It's still the unexplored parameters that people really need to delve into more. I'm not talking about sort of your ghost hunting TV show. That's not what it's about. I think it's literally more going on that people can access sometimes via psychedelics. I'm not saying that's right or wrong, but yeah, and also interested in very much what psychic people come out with, people with psychic ability. What they come out with as well. I find that very, very interesting, probably more than anything else. So I didn't explain
You
myself
have a
very
really good point.
yeah, I was going to say.
You hit on something really good there because me and James, we're quite famous for saying this about the TV shows. They're entertainment, like them or hate them, they're entertainment. But when you go on a ghost hunt, you look on a real paranormal investigation, don't go with your thoughts of it's going to be like those TV shows because that's not what this is about, is it? Absolutely isn't about it.
Well, this is it because if I have a really different view of the paranormal these days. I've had for the last 10 years. I say I don't think anywhere's haunted. I think that's a silly word. I think it's everywhere. If spirit or ghost exists, it's everywhere. I've got psychics and I've had people who've seen ghosts and spirits middle of the day walking down the high street. I don't think this whole concept of a haunted house is nonsense. It might have something happening in a certain area, but you could probably get that anywhere. I think people need to take a different approach to it now. Going in, why do we investigate at night? No reason. I can't find any reason we have to investigate at night.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I mean, a high percentage, I think it's something like 76% of sighted of ghosts are actually during the day. And that would make sense. If you're going to like an abbey, for example, I say this to a million people, abbeys were very, scheduled in their ways. They did the same thing at the same time every day.
Mhm.
They wouldn't have been up at like 12 o'clock at night. So why would we go to an abbey at 12 o'clock at night looking for a ghost? We do it because it's dark and it's scary, right? It's scary during the day. But it's a
Well, that's
really
what I
good
think.
point that
Yeah.
actually, if you want to do it for real, you're right. It's, why do we do it at night?
I mean, another thing is
Now
what.
Laura's giving. Go for it.
was going to say, why can't we do an investigation at 10 o'clock in the morning? Why does it have to be at 10 o'clock at night? I know people are working mainly, but there's no reason why you can't do it at 10 o'clock in the morning. And some of these venues then start charging lots of money when I think you can do it anywhere. Just pick a location, go in there with a good psychic, and just see what you come out with. I don't think all these, just because someone's old doesn't necessarily mean that's where the activity is going to be.
Do you think sometimes, Mark, some of the places people go to have got like the spook factor, should I say?
Have got what? Sorry.
A spook factor, more or less, where it looks haunted and it looks creepy. People are naturally drawn to it.
Yes, I mean, we're pattern-seeking mammals. We go in somewhere and see an old building, and it's going to be haunted because that's our psyche. That's what the media's done to it, and the TV shows have done to it. But I don't think there's anything like that at all. I mean, I'm not. I sound like I'm a bit spooked. I get spooked. Of course, we all get spooked in these places. I just try to look for it from a more rational point of view. There is definitely something going on. We've all worked together. We all know what's going on. People say to me, "Well, you don't believe, Mark." Well, that's stupid. If I didn't believe, I wouldn't investigate it or research it. Of course, I do think there's something in it.
Through all the media. I agree. I don't know what James is doing. I think he's been attacked by a ghost. But I remember years ago. This is how dedicated we are to this job, right? Mark, you got to remember this. Back at the manor, we were crawling around in a loft looking for paranormal activity.
Yeah.
That's how crazy this gets. I think James is back. Are you back, James? He's doing something.
Yeah.
We've got a few comments here as well. Laura said she went to the Submarine Museum with a different team. Oh, God, different team? And picked up joystick card games with a dictaphone. I know, shocking. Shadow of a spirit jumping down the bunks caught on a closed-off camera. I'd love to see that. Leslie again been in contact. Ems is here as well. I would do ghost hunts earlier in the day. Yeah, why not? Tori, here's a question for you guys. Do you think that spirits are here because they choose to be here, or because they're stuck here, or a combination of both?
Neither.
What's your thoughts on that one, Mark?
I don't. All this spirit being trapped. I think, really, come on, they're working in another dimension here. If that's what it is. Once again, I think a lot of the media is sort of, especially think they say they're trapped here or they need releasing. I've never understood this thing about releasing spirits from anywhere or letting them go into the light. I don't understand all that. What that's all about.
Oh, I agree with that 100%.
How can something in a three-dimensional world, a person in a three-dimensional world, release something that is not been proven? Even if I'm not saying that some people are psychic and they obviously can pick up on these things, but then move them on into a realm that they don't know about. I don't quite understand that. If any mediums are on here, please explain it to me, because I work with a lot of psychics and mediums, and no one really can give me an answer on that one.
On that point as well, you're saying is if you're religious as well, right? Now, I'm not religious. If I was a ghost and someone came reading the Bible to me, I'd be like, come on, mate, get out of here. And no disrespect to people who, I don't care, no, everyone's got right to their own beliefs and stuff. I'm not knocking that. But I agree with you completely. Why do people go in places and say, oh, I've just got rid of the ghost? What is that about? Because that ghost is happy. They leave them there.
Exactly. I mean, if people are sort of doing Bible passages, how do you know that ghost is not a Muslim or a pagan or a Jew?
Exactly my point.
I mean, I'm an atheist.
Yeah. James, you're very, very quiet. People can't hear that well. You might have to shout at us. Where are you, James? He's there somewhere. James, what's your thoughts on all of this?
Can you hear me clearly?
You're a bit quiet.
Very quiet.
Okay, I don't actually know why I'm quiet here. Can you hear me better?
Just about.
Okay.
I'm having to look at my screen so I don't go out of shock because I haven't got an image on the phone.
Yeah, I was just going to say it's very interesting that you actually said about cleansing and stuff like that, because I think a good example is, of course, me and Andrew spent a lot of time at the manor. I remember many times up in the flat, we could hear people downstairs passing on for spirits, whether they done, I don't know, different ways of doing it or whatever, mediums or and that lot, and none of it used to work. There's time and time again, for whatever reason, groups would come in there and believe they had to pass on the spirits to another place.
Yeah.
Of course, once again, it goes down to individual person's view. That is one of those things.
But how do they know that? How do they know these spirits want to be moved on anyway? If there is such a thing, how do they know that?
Yeah. I was going to say exactly the same thing. How do they know that?
You guys have got a much better insight. If you said, because you obviously used to live there, so you have a much better insight what's going on there than someone who's coming in for a couple of hours and then going again. I mean, my friend Mandy, who you know,
But to be honest,
although she saw her first full apparition at Wimbering Manor in 2010. Extraordinary. So that's a special place for her as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mark. Most of the stuff happened when the ghost groups went home. It was true.
Yeah.
Every time a ghost group was there, nothing would happen. The minute they walked out the door, explosion. And because we got to remember, a lot of people expect these ghosts to perform, don't they? If ghosts exist, they want them to perform. We're sat there going, please bang on the wall or whatever people say. And to an element of it, why are they asking to perform for us?
Yeah, exactly. I never understood that. Just go in there and speak to them with respect and talk to them like they're human beings. We talk to them like they're 2-year-old. Hello, is anyone out there? Oh, hello. We talk to them like they're 2 years old. I don't understand that.
So, Mark, my voice is gone. That's how.
And mine.
Passionate I am. There we go. Ted's been in contact. He says, from my castle, Mark, do you still have the same views on orbs that you had 10 years ago? Now, what are your views on orbs?
They're not paranormal at all.
So what would you say they were?
Dust particles off dust particles, atmospherics. There's nothing. I'm talking about orbs you see on cameras. I'm not saying some people actually see spirit lights. I'm not talking about that. That's a separate thing. But things you might capture on camera, they're all explainable 100%. Not 99%. They're 100% explainable. They were dismissed. They were disproved years ago. That's the only thing. I mean, everything's speculative, of course. But that's the only thing I would say is absolutely been proved not to be paranormal.
James, your views?
Orbs, of course, I know many people say out there it's the first stage of manifestation. I think sometimes a lot of people will end up chasing orbs and, of course, claim any orbs is the first sign of paranormal activity. But personally, sometimes I do like it if someone shows me an orb if they believe it's a ghost. Okay, I'll always take a look and, maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I do like seeing the different colours, different shapes, but, of course, I'd rather I really like ghost on camera compared to an orb.
Yeah. I mean, Leslie, who's one of our long-term investigators, been with us for actually since the days of the madness, a good 10 years, or probably even more than that. Actually, yeah, more than that, in fact. He said, and a good point here is that if you do come on a ghost hunt with any of us lot, we're not out there to try and get them to perform. We just want to find out why people have these experiences. So actually, we're not there to say, kick a ball or whatever it might be. We're there because we want to find answers to what causes this paranormal phenomena. Now, I've been living in the manor and all the kind of things have gone over the years, and Mark can back this up. I've seen numerous amounts of paranormal groups who go, "Oh my god, a ghost!" and every single noise that happens. And I'll give you an example. In fact, at the manor, I remember coming down one night, and a woman told me she had a ghost on the camera. And I said, "Well, show me the picture of the ghost then." And she did. She got up her phone and went, "Here you go, here's the ghost." And I went, "That's not a ghost." And she went, "Well, it is." So I just took it. I went, "I'll tell you what that is. That is your camera flash reflecting off that painted door over there." Now, remember the big door that goes at the bottom of the stairs of the flat that goes through to the attic bathroom? There's a big door. That was painted with, I don't know what you call it, like the stuff using skirting boards. And when you took a photo, the camera flash would reflect off it and it looked like a ghost. I said, "You give me your camera and I'll show you." But she was adamant that I was wrong. Even though I proved it, so she's adamant that I was wrong. Now, I'm not saying, because I don't know, I don't know if we know if ghosts exist or don't, not disproving the fact that there are some great pictures out there. But why are there paranormal investigators who just want to believe everything? Should we not be looking on both sides as investigators?
Yes, the thing is, the important thing is when people go out on ghost hunts. It's a phrase that people know I'm not particularly fond of, but if you go into paranormal investigation, people are paying. Oh, go out for ghost hunt for 6 hours of a Saturday night. They're going out there with expectations. Something they might think is paranormal at 10:30 at night on a Saturday night. They won't even probably blink their eyes if that happened at 10:30 on a Tuesday morning. You know, if it's exactly the same phenomenon, you might not even notice it. So I think you go in with a certain expect. Obviously, your senses are a little bit heightened because you're going into that environment. But yes, one thing paranormal to, as you say, one thing paranormal to someone could be completely not to someone else. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I think that's the important thing is to kind of, when something happens, is take a step back, think actually what caused that? What is the likelihood that could be a pipe creaking or floorboard moving or whatever the case might be? Leslie's put on our little chat room here, remember the experience at the manor. Now I'm thinking this might be an experience where she, I can't remember what I'm gonna say. I think you're about the one where you swore at me. You have to confirm that or not. Leslie saw a ghost at the manor, and I think I walked through the door at the wrong time, and she ended up swearing at me or something. I can't remember. You'd have to remind me. But so going back, Mark, you're like me. You believe that actually we should be looking at the logical stuff first.
Yes. Because then
Yeah.
anything, get through all the layers of, okay, it could be this, it could be that, or it might be this. And then what you're left with is going to be not necessarily the truth, but something you can actually start analysing a little bit more.
Oh yeah, we're not saying there's definitely a ghost because you know we can't explain it. We're saying it's unexplained, and that's a very different term because we
Yeah,
don't understand what causes ghosts. We don't understand the paranormal, and we're no better off now than we were in the Victorian days when they used to do all sorts of stage things and whatever else
yeah,
they did. We're still in that same position. And I'll tell you what, these people come to no disrespect. I will no disrespect about people who use equipment on ghost hunts, but to me, your EMF reader is not a ghost hunting tool. It's not. All it does is gives you the actual scientific reason why we use EMF readers because we're looking for electromagnetic fields. That's because high levels can affect your brain, make you hallucinate and stuff. It doesn't tell you if a ghost is there or not. It never has done that. But you still see paranormal investigators go, "Oh, what's the ghost over there?" Because the EMF reader tells me there is. So
there is,
is that because of these TV shows again?
it's down to the TV show again. There is not one piece of paranormal equipment that works for looking for ghosts. Nothing. Your spirit boxes, which I don't get me started on them. Your EMF readers. What the best bit of ghost hunting equipment you have is you and your
Yeah.
senses.
Yeah, absolutely. Tori has asked, I'm going to ask both the guys here. So James has been quiet again. He's been very quiet tonight, isn't he? He's still here. He's still here, just about. James, what's your best experience so far in the paranormal?
Oh God.
Oh, he's seen God. Oh, right.
No,
He did say that, didn't he?
I've had a few different ones, and it's one of the things. There's always a few that sticks out. Now, I'd love to say, okay, I've had different experiences of the paranormal every weekend, but in all honesty, there's only about a handful of times where there has actually been something hugely that has happened. I think for me personally, when we get like poltergeist activity, it always sticks out in my mind because I know we've been debating here about what size to look at it from and everything else. And sometimes I find when you're in a building and you're seeing a table lift up in midair and you can't explain it, that's sort of a thing that gets thinking. And whether we speak about the Manor Days, for example, I remember the ghost story there of a baby crying, and it's one of those things I always thought, okay, yeah, it's just a made up story, whatever. But I remember
Yeah.
being there at night, and we was actually doing table tipping downstairs, and you could hear someone walking above us. And at first, okay, I thought go through your mind, has someone broke in or anything like that? And then all of a sudden, this baby started crying really loud, and you could just hear this from what I gathered by as a woman walking backwards and forwards upstairs. opening and closing the doors to where this baby was coming from. No, I will say there's honestly no one else, upstairs or anything else by that. And as we sat downstairs, that's when we started getting, while I was doing table tipping, the table interactive, starting to drift and tilt. But yeah, there's so many I could say, but sadly, you
Yeah.
don't get that all the time. But what about yours, Mark? What's the most?
Ooh, I think, like you just said, James, a couple of table tips. When I seen a table literally rise up off the floor, that was at Wimmering Manor once, and also the same a very heavy table with we're all sitting around doing a session, and that lifted off. That was at Aberdeen Town Football Club in 2008. Still the best evidence I've ever seen. I'm also interested in what psychics come out with. If we protected them from information about a certain place, and I work with a lot of raw psychics. And what I mean by raw psychics means they're not professional mediums. That way, they're just not interested in that side of it.
They're not making money, are they?
Yeah, they've got nothing to prove. So I'm very interested in sort of what people like my friend Mandy, who's part of our team, who I've worked with for 12 years. She's a very, very good raw psychic. But yeah, that Wimmering Manor, yes, there was a table rising up. But yeah, the other part of it, as I say, is looking what psychics can come out with. I'm very interested in psychic phenomena.
Yes.
I've got to go back to this because I completely agree. This is why I love debating the paranormal with certain people, you see, because going back to that comment about the the spirit boxes, I am possibly the biggest disliker of spirit boxes. And I'll
I've
tell
got
you why.
radio if I want to listen to Radio
I've got
1.
one in my car. I've got one in my car. It's called a radio. It listens to Wave or whatever it is.
I can't believe people
And I
still
remember
use
going
it.
to this place
And I
years
get
ago.
people then tell me off, and I say, no, it's nonsense.
And you know what? I was on a ghost hunt many years ago now, and I remember someone having one of those boxes, and I said to him, "I'm not a believer of this." And it goes through different, up and up and down, looking for different frequencies or whatever. And all of a sudden, it said something. And she said, "Oh my god, it's a ghost! It's a ghost!"
I
No, it was
know.
Heart Radio, right? It was the jingle to Heart Radio. I was like, "No, that's Heart Radio." She wouldn't have it. But it was going, "This is Heart," like it does. She wouldn't have it. And I was like, "Please, just get rid of these damn boxes." Corinne's
Yeah,
with us this evening as well. Good evening to you. And she agrees about the spirit boxes as well. Good. I'm glad we're forming a club here. And we've also got Leslie said as well. Now, James wasn't here, but a couple of months ago, we went, before lockdown, I should point out, we went to a hotel in Southampton, the oldest hotel in Southampton. Nothing happened all night, right? Nothing. Until one person made a comment. I don't even know what the comment was. And then it seemed to get really bad. Now, I'm not saying it was a very interesting experience, and certainly I know the people on that wouldn't create anything. I think the element of doing ghost hunts or paranormal investigations is you need to be with people that you know and trust.
yeah,
That's a big thing, isn't it?
absolutely. One more thing about the ghost boxes, though, that I don't like,
Yes,
unfortunately.
you've got to do
Not
it.
being negative, it makes such a racket. That's the thing I can't get. It makes such a racket.
Oh, yeah. That and the singing bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, that together. God, it would be good, wouldn't it? But whatever reason, TV shows love him, so the public love him.
Well, it must be real then.
But must work. So yeah, so trust is a big thing, isn't it? Because if
Yes.
I've known James for I don't know, 15 years, something like that, probably a long time. Long time's the answer. And I know if I go on a ghost hunt paranormal investigation, we should call it, with James. If something happened with James, Leslie, Philip, the guys who come on our team, and yourself as well. I know Mark's a different team, but yourself as well. If you've been with us. I know if something happens that it wouldn't be you guys, right? But if I'm on a public ghost, and I hear so many times about these ghost hunting groups who are throwing coins, they're throwing stones, all sorts of weird stuff to pretend they're ghosts. That to me is so wrong.
It's not only wrong, and it's also very disrespectful to other people doing the investigations, as well as spirit, really. It's completely disrespectful,
Yeah, it is absolutely. I think for the people who are out there looking at it genuinely, you do this because you love it, don't you? You do this because you're passionate. there's a lot of people coming. What you said just now, Mark, I've got to pick up on this as well because it's a good point about mediums. Raw mediums are fantastic, okay? Because you're right, there are a lot of commercial ones, and when I say commercial, I mean the ones that look like they come off the back of The Only Way Is Essex. No offense, but do you know what I mean? They want to be famous rather than being a medium, is what I'm saying.
I
And
came
to me, no, go for it. Go on, Mark.
I might have a rant here. No, I don't rant. I don't like negative. I mean, I saw someone today, random psychic person popped up on Instagram. Never heard of him before. 90,000 followers. I thought, who are you? You know, and I looked at his thing. I thought, as you just said, it was all about him trying to be famous. I think more than his alleged ability. If you're a medium, can you hear me? All right?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can hear you fine. James
Okay.
disappeared, but I can hear you.
Can you still hear me? Okay.
yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, I can hear you. If you're giving a reading, so I can hear myself feeding
Yeah.
back. If you hit,
I think James is pressed the button on his computer and done something.
I can't hear. I'm getting feedback on my voice.
James, I don't know where you are, but you've made it all very funny. Let's go here for a second. Hang on, bear with me a second.
Can you hear me?
Let
All
me
right?
see if I can get rid of him. He's broken it.
No, James.
Right, there we go. You can come back. We'll get him back in a sec.
Yeah.
Just me and you, Mark.
Interesting comment. Yeah. As Rose Brooker just said, you know, she sits in a spiritualist church and you have to be trusted. And I like that idea. Yeah, you need to trust the person. But if you're giving a reading to somebody, I'm talking about professional mediums. I'm not having to go at anyone because I think there's some really good professional mediums out there. But you've got to give a reading. Now, if I'm using a raw psychic going around somewhere and they pick up things, they'll go in somewhere and say, I'm not picking up anything. But if you're a professional medium, you can't say that if you've got a client there. So I do think there's a little bit of extra work going on there. Sorry, it's just an opinion. Do you understand what I mean?
Absolutely, yeah. And that's what this is about, isn't it? It's about opinions. I mean, from my point of view, I said I know a lot of people who work in this field who've been part of, UK Press very well from back in the day. We still have UK PRS. We still do a lot of private stuff in places. And that's a core group of 6 or 8 of us, not that many. And these guys, look at people like Leslie's been with us for a good 10 years, Philip's been with us over 10 years, Shane's been with us about 8, no, even probably about that as well. Most of our group have been there for 10 years. And I know they're very passionate about it, and I know they do it because they want to find an explanation behind something. And I trust when they pick stuff up that they're telling the truth, because they would. And you're quite right. I mean, Rose again has said it depends on the medium, but you have to be able to trust people. I don't know how many ghosts I've been to where I've seen people who were blatantly pushing a glass, for example. Oh, it's a ghost. No, it's not.
Yeah, I've
You
seen
got
it.
to take away from people's experiences because I love the paranormal and everybody knows that I love doing these events. It's part of who I am. But at the same time, I want to be real. When people come to me and say, well, when I went on this ghost hunt, this group, and loads of stuff happened, didn't with you? Did stuff really happen on that last group, as a group you went with? Good
It's
question.
interesting.
Now,
Yeah, it's not to cut through the BS, really.
yeah, and you've done this a long time, and you say, so for yourself then, where would you say the best place you've been to, and it could be more than one, for paranormal activity in your opinion?
Wimmering Manor. As you quite right, there's something about that place which is beautiful. Mitchell and Priory, actually, just because I just love the place. Nothing to do really with ghosts, I just love the place. Mitchell and Priory.
I've not been
And
in years.
yeah, and the theatre that I work in.
Oh yeah, well, theatre's been after being haunted, of course.
Yeah, we
Thanks,
have a lot.
Ted. That's why I love you coming to the tower, Andrew. Do you know what? I love the tower. Love it. And that's what it's
Can we
about
come
with
back,
us.
please, Ted? We love that. One of my favourite investigations was Wipes' Tower because Ted was so fantastic on that night.
And Ted is a legend. He is
He
a
is
legend.
so knowledgeable.
And let us use a place. It's just fantastic. I mean, I'll tell you what, you guys, Ted's very careful, rightly so, the people he lets go there because he doesn't want the kind of rubbish that people do.
Quite right. Absolutely. How it should be.
And that's the right thing to do. You say before, there's loads of places you go to, and they're quite commercial. Leslie reminded me something about a medium many years ago now. We had a medium who was a guest on one of our events, and oh, Mark, you're going to love this. And I had to be quite stern in saying there are some real good mediums out there. I must stress that. This one, though, was saying to us, "Oh, I can see a ghost." She was doing the whole whatever. Anyway, she walked off in the dark, and next to us was a rack of books or magazines, I think it was. And as she walked past, we watched her push the whole rack of books on the floor, right? Massive, right? Oh my God, it's a ghost. I went, no, I think we just watched you do that. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. I thought, we did watch you do that. Straight away, you lost credibility in me straight away. Absolutely.
Yeah. I did an investigation recently as a guest of someone, and there was a medium there doing his thing as their guest. And hello, and this is my I'm so and so. Here's my guide. His name is so and so. And I went. I just sort of walked out.
Mark, Ted said you should come back to the tower.
Literally, while we've been talking, Ted and I just responded a friend request on Facebook. So Ted, I will be in touch because I'd love to go back to Whitebridge Tower. I really would.
I love Ted Staces on Facebook. You'll love him.
I'm going to get
We'll be back there
reconnected.
very soon. After
Well, let us know.
lockdown's finished, we'll definitely be back there.
Right.
Leslie said Preston Manor as well in Brighton. James is back with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Preston Manor. Yeah, interesting stuff's happened there as well over the years.
Yeah.
You've been there as well, Mark, haven't you? Many times.
Many times, yeah.
Is it an active
We've
place?
done charity events there with you and everything, yeah.
Oh, of course you did, yeah. What we're talking about. Yeah, so is it a particularly active place for you?
It's what, sorry?
Is it a particularly active place in your opinion?
What, Preston Manor?
Yeah.
Yes. From what the psychics are coming out with, the psychics we trust. Yeah, it's an interesting place, Preston Manor. A lot of, something about that place.
It's interesting, isn't it? It's just some places you go to, and it's just like it's got the X factor for all things paranormal, and
Got the X factor. Got the P factor for paranormal.
It's much better than the X factor. That's got a few ghosts from there and all. James, you're back with us.
Yes,
James is back.
You hear me and see me okay?
Yeah, I can see you fine, James.
Mark, what you've got to realise is every week James disconnects about 4 times. Every time. It's like he's got some sort of ghost in the back there pressing buttons. James, do you think Preston Manor is pretty haunted?
With Preston Manor, it's not only, I would say it's haunted, but it also looks the part, because where it looks like someone walked out like 100 years ago and just left it, you walk in there and straight away you get that spooky atmosphere.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it really helps with the energy of the location, whether you go down the lines of the spirits and energy and stuff like that. But I think it's got that atmosphere. I think it's straight away. You just walk in there and you think, wow, it's how it looked years ago.
I like the service, of course, so that's pretty scary. So, top 3. Corinne said top 3 haunted places for her personally. It's going to be Woodchester Mansion, Tettenhall, I haven't said that right, Towers, and you made Corinne, been there a few times. Now, Woodchester Mansion is a bit of a strange place, isn't it?
Woodchester, I've heard interesting things. But these are all locations that have been on certain TV shows. So what about places that maybe off beaten track a little bit that people know about? But yeah, Woodchester Mansion, I've heard a lot of interesting stories about that place. There seems to be something going on there that's nothing to do with the actual building itself.
Yeah, I think that the story behind it is a bit misconstrued somewhere on the line, isn't it, with that? Leslie actually did go to Women Manor recently and said that it actually lost a feeling. It's not like it was before. They obviously miss us, don't they?
Yeah, interesting. I don't know. How do you mean by lost the feeling? What, the vibe's not there or the atmosphere's different?
Yeah, Leslie, hit us with that. Let us know what you think there. James, top 3 haunted places.
Oh,
Chaps.
okay, yeah. It's quite a difficult one to actually say a top 3. I've got to say, for some places I would like to say, but I've never actually been to. To me personally, a top place, and that's always the one there. I'm dead sure you have been there, Mark. Is Buckingham House in Old Port.
Oh,
Which I just
yes.
I re-released a video of that recently, upscaled it
Oh,
and
is that?
re-edited it.
And
Yeah, amazing place.
even though, okay,
It
it's a
is.
hotel now, I would love to know what people do experience staying there. It's just, I've got to say, it's my top one because it's one place I wouldn't like to stay by myself. It would just freak me out. It really would. Everywhere else wouldn't really bother me, but in that place, it would. And especially if you remember,
I,
some of you that know it, the old panel room that was on the first floor.
yeah.
Oh yes,
The
yes.
Red Room, I think it's called, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll try and find the video and I'll link it.
but it's just one
Yes,
place
drop it on there.
really does freak me out. And the thing is, my other top 2 places, a mixture of different places out there. I don't think it's very hard to say a top 3, but that's got to be my top 1.
James,
Yeah.
all I keep thinking of with Buckingham House is if I knock the door and you come in,
Oh God.
filming incident. Ems has said, what about Nose Fort? I don't know if I'm saying that right. Nose Fort, North Fort. She went there and felt an atmosphere there, felt uncomfortable there. To find out later today, there's a very active area for the paranormal. I've been there many years ago. Funny because forts tend to be places that people like, don't they? They tend to find them quite scary anyway. Rose has said, I think we leave a little bit piece of energy because after all, that's what we are. Every place we go to, some of us can feel those energies when we visit certain places. And James has said his most haunted place is St. Catherine's Hill in Winchester. And Mark has dropped YouTube link in. Really? Um,
That's the Buckingham
yeah,
House.
have a look at it because Buckingham House is a fantastic venue. We feature on the Portsmouth Ghost Stories, for example, because it's got. If you don't know it, it was a scene of a very famous murder here in Portsmouth of the Duke of Buckingham, George Villiers, and a lot of people now say they experienced not just the ghost of George Villiers, but also of John Felton, who did the murder. And yet, what's funny about that though is people say they see John Felton in Felton House next door. John Felton never went in Felton House next door. It was only called Felton House after him. There you go. For the
Ah,
medium, don't get that wrong. There you go. So a lot of people say, "Oh yes, John Felton's house is haunted." No, he wasn't because he never went in there. But Buckingham House, yeah, certainly is an interesting place, to go to. For me, I've got to say Tudor House. The reason why I say Tudor House in Southampton is because I've got a bit of a love thing going on with that place. It was the very first place I hired out for for paranormal investigation privately many years ago, back in 2002, all those years ago. And
oh,
to go back there
yeah.
now, we're there in October again, and to be able to do ghost house and play the part of John Dogtree in there, who owned the house originally, and it had some great experiences. But there are so many great venues out there. What other ones do I look forward to? I think about that. Yeah, it's quite a hard question actually, James. What other ones do you like? Um, sorry, I was reading a comment there. Sorry, I got lost there. So, what would convince you that ghosts definitely do exist?
I'm already convinced.
So,
Oh, okay.
so what convinced you, Mark?
James, over to you.
What convinced me because stories that have come from people, although I might not have seen a ghost, I've never seen a ghost, but people's stories that they've told me from people I trust, people who have got no reason to be lying. What does that achieve? And a couple of very interesting stories only very recently from people in the middle of the day by multiple witnesses. So yeah, I'm very happy to exist. Phil said, "Is there something in it?" Yes, there is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Corinne hit on a point we said earlier there, where she said that she went a night at a ghost hunt, saw absolutely nothing at all in the medieval priory, got back home and saw a ghost in her house.
Brilliant.
We said
Yeah,
before, ghosts
that's
everywhere.
lovely. Yeah, very freaky as well, I'm sure. But yeah, absolutely fantastic.
I mean, we're everywhere. Like we said before, you don't have to be an old house to be haunted. That's what people perceive as being scary.
And I like being in them because, I
Like we
mean,
said,
I'm seeing quite a lot of people who do paranormal, they're interested in history as well. So it is nice to be in these fantastic old buildings after hours. But yeah, at the end of
oh
the
yeah,
day, you're not necessarily going to see anything. You're probably more likely to see something at 10:30 in the morning.
yeah, exactly it. You know, you've got more chance of seeing stuff during normal operating hours, if you want to call it that, than
Yeah, and
perhaps
when
at
you're
night
least,
time. But that's because that's scary.
and when
That
you're least,
again? Yeah, when you least expect it, absolutely, yeah, completely. So Corinne said I've seen 9, but become more skeptical. Corinne, I'm going to ask you there. You've seen 9 ghosts. What makes you more skeptical? Do you think? Good question. Dan, are you skeptical, or are you 100% believer in ghosts?
sorry,
Well, who
Oh,
did
there
I
it
say?
goes.
no,
Both of you, if you like. I don't mind. James, you go first.
yeah, sorry, yeah, we got a little bit of sound drop out. That's all.
I was going to say, I do believe in ghosts. I don't believe in everything because I think there's a mixture of things that does actually go on. And I think, like it was mentioned earlier, there's a lot of stuff that maybe people don't understand or don't follow it through. And I think sometimes a lot of people go to a point where it's far too easy to say it is a ghost. And I think
Yeah,
sometimes it's easy explainable. Um, what I personally look for is when something can't be explained. Now, like I said earlier about the tables and stuff like that, when you've got something that happens and you can't explain it, that's when you think, okay, there's something not there. But yeah, I was going to say something else, but I've completely forgotten now.
It says ghosts. It says ghosts. Tori's got a question for you both. Has there been an experience that changed a certain opinion that you had prior to that experience happening? Oh,
oh,
that's
what
a
a
good
good,
question, that one.
it's a very good question.
I
Um,
one, and see, my
you go
one,
first, Jen. I can't think of one at the moment.
my one would actually be to do with witchcraft. And
Oh,
Witchcraft.
yeah,
Okay.
as you can remember, now Mark, I can't remember if you was there or not. Back in for Manor Days, for a local witching to open up a portal, and of course at the time I didn't really believe in all this and all the witchcraft side of it. But all I can tell you is whatever she done, it worked. And
was that the weekend at Wimmering Manor
yeah,
Yeah.
with Phil Wyman and 2008? I think it
Yeah.
was.
yeah,
But you've got good memory, haven't you?
yeah.
I don't know why I've got this really weird recall of dates. I have all my investigations listed down and when I did them as well, which is really, really silly. But
No, that's
yeah, that's
good.
the same, isn't it? Someone opened a. I mean, I don't believe in opening portals. I can't. But something definitely happened. But from a psychological point of view, there was a little bit of excitement going on, and then through psychology, people then jump on the bandwagon, which we've all done it. You know, someone sees something, and you jump on the bandwagon. So that might have something to do with it. But yeah, it was. The energy did change. I was there. I will freely admit the energy did change.
You know what? A couple of years after that, and when I went back to that manor, I had a group of people and I was talking about that incident. And I went, oh, there was a silly woman who did this, that, and the other. She went, oh, that was me. I was like, oh, that's awkward. I'm like, what? Let's move. But she went, to be fair, it was really silly. It was. Can I react to
Oh,
really silly? I've got, yeah, careful what you're saying, future. Ian's joined us, says, boo, hello. And James said, my childhood experience is hearing someone breathing in the corner of my room. I was 7.
oh,
And also when I was 13, laying in bed, and I felt a hand on my shoulder. It scared me. My back was against the wall. I guess a
oh,
lot
how
of people
horrible!
back in the day.
Oh, how horrible!
Yeah, it's pretty scary. So at a young age as well. And Rose, spirit guides, perhaps. Apparently, we all have spirit guides. James, we're going to ask you about this in a sec. Not necessarily the same one all the time. I've seen one several times. She's a nun, which is highly inappropriate. Oh no, a nun. James, what's a spirit guide? Tell us about that.
Okay, spirit guide from a medium's point of view. A lot of people believe they have a spirit guide that helps to guide them through different either situations in life or them to connect to a spirit world. Now, there's many people who believe that they have multiple spirit guides. I believe personally I do have a spirit guide. Spirit guides are open
I think
to
James is in water, isn't he?
sorry. But
Got some very strange noises coming from your end there, James. That's a yes. Spirit guides. Sorry, carry on. Carry on.
there's really nothing here. There's only on the bed and that's it.
You get a special Cribs episode in James's bedroom right there. Oh, so interesting. Mark's got to go to it. Oh
I'm
no, he's
plugging my
back. He's
phone in.
back.
It doesn't. I'm going to plug my phone in so it doesn't go
Well,
off.
that might be a good idea, actually. Future reference, you may need headphones. So, yes, carry on, James. Where you were, sorry.
With the spirit guides, I do believe personally we all have spirit guides, but at the same time, I believe only help out. I don't believe they're going to be able to for us because I think sometimes I look at us, okay, you're going through that situation, go through it, yeah, you're on your own sort of thing.
Leslie's been in touch as well. I said we've always had a spirit in our house. We call him Fred. My son used to say he was an old man who sat on the end of his bed. He was about 5 to 6 at the time, but was never scared. So, on that point, right, he wasn't scared, by the way. Pretty gutsy guy for that age. We do tend to find that children experience ghosts. Some of them might even call it an invisible friend or whatever. Why is it that either ladies going through a certain change, awkward thing to talk about, or children seem to have ghost experiences more?
I know it's very interesting. A lot of children have. A lot of my friends' children have had experiences. Who knows? Maybe they've got that. They haven't got the joys of the world on their shoulders at that when they're a young age. They're quite free spirited, so maybe they're just more susceptible to it. Who knows? It's very, very interesting.
There is one thing I say about saying that children may see spirits more and stuff, and that was when we was actually doing ghost tour at Fort Woodley. Now, one of our ghost tour guides, Martin, took the group down into the tunnels, and he was saying about a ghost story, and one of the people on the golf course was their child, and the child said, "Who is that of the tunnel?" And of course, Martin looked up and said, "There's no one there," and this child was really convinced that there was someone there, but of course, no one else could see him.
I think Leslie's got a point as well there, saying because when we grow up, we're told how to think. So we are kind of led in a certain direction, aren't we? Or historically,
Yes,
certainly that would have been the case. We were quite
spot
a
on.
religious country back in the day.
Fort
Do you
Woodley.
agree
That's
with that,
another.
Mark? Oh, Fort Woodley. How much time I spent up in those tunnels?
I think it's all psychological, laughter tunnels. They're dark tunnels, but that place does give me the shivers, I have to admit.
I always walk down there to look up on my own, or sometimes James does, and people go, "Why on earth would you do that?" I think, what are they going to do? I quite like to be around ghosts. It doesn't really worry me. But you're right that we are led down a certain path, aren't we? And one of them is to believe what we can see.
Yeah,
So anything we don't know, we're scared of because we can't explain it. And as humans, we don't like the ability to not be able to explain something.
that's correct.
Are we told as kids actually don't believe in ghosts? You should believe this because we look at religion again. Catholics don't believe in ghosts. They don't believe that people die and become ghosts. They think
They
we
know.
die and that's it. We go to heaven or hell, purgatory, whatever. So we are led down a certain path to a degree.
I get that quite a lot. People say to me, well, Mark, if you're an atheist, why do you believe in ghosts and spirits? And I don't see how the two are mutually exclusive. They're totally separate subjects as far as I'm concerned. Because I'm coming from a rational point
Well,
of
yeah,
view.
yeah, your belief is your belief. You don't have to be part of a religion to believe something. You're entitled to your own beliefs, absolutely.
I don't even like the word "do
I
I
was really
believe." It's like I gathered enough evidence to formulate a reasoned opinion if there are ghosts and spirits, and our consciousness does survive the physical 3D manifest that we have. It was heavy.
and we've been reporting ghosts for like thousands of years as humans, thousands of years. So even if it's not a ghost, there's got to be something out there we just don't understand. Whether it's our abilities of our brain we don't yet know, or whatever it is, there's definitely something out there because there's a lot of people over many years, different religions, different countries, who reported these things.
Well, some of my friends a few years ago still doing work down there now, which I need to experience myself. Have done a few night washes around the Avebury Stone Circle and around the surrounding landscape within sort of two,
Oh,
three
I've been
mile.
there. Yeah.
And I go there a lot. It's my favourite place of all time. And the experiences they're having there goes two steps beyond ghosts and spirits. That's all I can say at the moment because that's a subject for another time.
James, I don't know
Multiple
if you've
witnesses.
been it's behind the red line, isn't it, in Avebury?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I did go something paranormal investigation many years ago now, but I've not been back since. But the Avebury Stone Circle was, I don't know, just something really atmospheric about it. I mean, I
Yeah.
haven't been there for a long time. I think I should go back there. Those
It's got
kind
nothing
of
to do with.
places,
This
got
is
nothing to
something
do
else.
with. Oh,
This
something else.
overall.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, something else. Yeah.
There we go.
Beings.
Lara's joined us as well. Good evening. We've got loads of people joining us tonight, so thank you very much for spending your
Hello, Laura.
Friday
Oh,
night.
my friend
It's
Laura's
Friday, right?
on. Hello, Laura.
It's Friday, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday. Let's think about it. I don't know what day it is. I mean, Corinne's a good point. She's got her father's ashes, God, next to you on your bed. Whew, that's pretty gutsy. But nothing's ever happened. He's never come through. Rose's got a
Yeah.
question as well. How do you explain some children recalling previous lives?
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. That is. There's been some really quite intriguing stories on that. I can't recall any to speak to now, but I've read quite a lot about that. Yeah, that's fascinating. Do we live multiple lives? That's sort of karma, isn't it? And Buddhism. But yeah.
He certainly does.
So I do actually have one
Controversial.
personal experience about past lives. Once I was sitting in a religion class and we was going through past lives and everything else. And I know there's many theories on how people believe how you get to your past life, but cut the story short, someone actually said to me, because we was going through it, oh James, I get a feeling in your past life you died by a sword going through your stomach and you still got the scar there now. Now, you naturally wouldn't think anything of that, but the strange thing is, I've actually got a mystery scar. And
Oh,
it's
have
the
you?
same thickness of a sword and everything else. And it's not like I go around, oh, look at my scar, this or whatever.
You're not been playing Ninja Turtles again, have you?
No. But it was just so bizarre. And something I find strange about past lives, there's even stuff like with myself now, I'm drawn to stuff. And I don't know why, because it's not like stuff I grew up with or whatever else. But something draws me to it. It's like with myself, I will say I'm very drawn to like Japan and the samurai and stuff like that. But I don't know why. There don't seem to be a reason I can think of. But I find it all very fascinating past lives. Like,
Yeah, I mean, well, Lara said there that when she was a child, she used to speak of a previous life, and her mum took her to see someone about it. So, I mean, there's a lot of people who've experienced these kind of things where they are talking about a previous life 200, 500 years ago, even in different places, different parts of the world. It's got to be something
We'll
there,
have to talk
right? It's
about
intriguing.
Laura. We'll have to talk about that. It's really intriguing. That really intriguing.
Martin's asked a question there. Hello, Martin. Do you think childhood imaginary friends are in fact spirits?
I'd say yes. I would say
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, I would too.
I absolutely do. Who else would you be talking to? If it's imaginary friend, I was a ghost there. I completely agree with that. And then Lara said she was only about 3 to 4 years old at the time, so yeah, pretty young age. James, do you think imaginary friends are ghost spirits?
Yeah, I think a lot of the times, um, I've even heard stories of where someone's been talking to someone and it's turned out to be like a family member, so their great granddad or whatever. And when they've asked to describe that person, they've actually described that person to their parent very accurate. And I think a lot of the times when we are children, like we said earlier, people don't tell you what to believe and what not to believe. You've got an open mind. And I think just by having that open mind, you're far more, you spot things more. You don't close it off.
Yeah. So, Tori said, in your opinion, do you believe demonic activity can happen to people who are agnostic or do not believe in God? Had to be present for that activity to happen. Ooh, that's going down a different path, that one, isn't it? Go on, Mark, hit us with it.
Here we go. You ready for it? First of all, which god are you referring to? Demonic activity is stuff is a lot of the American paranormal people like to. Was it demonology? Oh,
Yeah.
it's all man-made Bible stuff. Yeah, which god are we referring to? Zeus, Mithra, Yahweh? Which one?
James, can you help with that? You said you saw God earlier in the broadcast.
No.
I'm only joking. He didn't really say that. It was off the cuff comment. So Tori said, "I use the term demonic activity as the common definition, not necessarily a belief." Fair enough. No, that's good.
I've
Loads of
come
comments
across
coming
it.
through today.
I think it's
Loads of comments coming through.
I think it's one of those things. Going back to Tori's comment, it all depends on your belief and depends on, I guess, even what part of the world you live in, because there's so many different beliefs out there, and I think if you are in a part of the world where you're very heavily influenced by religion, that's going to play an important part. I think even throughout for years and stuff, people would have referred to where you didn't believe in God or you sinned. This is why you have paranormal activity happen, and maybe more demonic activity. But once again, I would say it will go down to your personal belief, and of course, even people's personal beliefs around you that may be in that decision.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah, no, that is a good point.
So,
Now, before we do round up tonight, we should ask Mark to tell us where people can find out more about the work that you do, websites and social media, stuff like that.
I haven't got a website at the moment. You can find my paranormal episodes, Spiral Paranormal. They're on my new YouTube channel. The main one I use now is Marq English, MARQ, or Spiral Paranormal on YouTube. We've also got season 1 on Amazon Prime Video, so Spiral Paranormal. And I'm also developing, and we're doing season 2 soon on Amazon Prime. And I'm also trying to produce a new documentary coming out soon, which I'll talk to you guys about the paranormal, but from a different perspective. So that's we're shooting that hopefully later on in the year once we've all been lifted from this horrible mess that we're in at the moment.
Yeah, hopefully at some point. We can put those links on our page as well. Again, just to kind of a massive thank you to Mark for being here. It's been years since we last spoke, I think, with all things gone. It's been great to have you again and be in touch with you. And we've got to do some stuff together.
Yeah, we'll do this again soon.
Yes, we've got to get together again soon. Big thanks to James for being here this evening. Please join us. Make sure you do catch up with Spiral Paranormal. Make sure you join our new Supernatural News. You can see the logo on the top there. It's back again. We've got loads of things. We've got Supernatural Live this Sunday, then next Friday. James got some great guests over the next few weeks. So please, we're going to have articles, loads of stuff going on the Supernatural News page. So please, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever else, please do join those live pages. And again, massive thank you to Mark, to James, everybody who's joined us this evening. Fantastic night. And one thing we've got to say is, everyone, stay safe. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good night. Thanks very much, everyone.
thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, we're